Don, are you expecting to make another roster move today?
We are going to have to make a move pretty quick here, so it could be as quick as today, yes.
Once Zemgus gets back, it'll be the closest you've been to full health, or I think at full health for the first time in a while. How would you characterize what he brings, and two, what's the opportunity?
Yeah, getting Zemgus back he's a guy that's at his core, he's a competitive, hardworking guy, and where we've been challenged is in that area. We need more competitive, high energy working guys, and it'll be big to get him back, obviously. Excuse me.
Don, when you look at the Samuelson-Dahlin pairing, a lot of nights where you watch them, and when you consider the matchups, like they've had good games, but you look at the analytics sometimes, and it can be ugly. So how do you guys balance it as a staff? What do you see from those two working together to continue to use them?
Yeah, I mean, the analytics are tough because there's just so many analytics, and it's real hard. There's just so many variables that you can question some of the integrity in some of the analytics, obviously. But, those two guys, when they're on their game, are imposing, and they can definitely handle top players. So, each night you go in and you have a top line on another team. Some teams have a little bit more depth, but they're the tandem that, when they're at their best, they're our best for that reason. So, it filters down from that point. But again, the big thing is when they're on their game, they're a good shutdown pair.
The three goalies thing, it stopped for a week, and I think guys seem to understand it, but it's not ideal. How have you seen them kind of handle it since it's become a thing again? Because it's not easy for any of them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what I've seen, they've all handled it as pros. Not an ideal situation for any of them, in the sense of you as an athlete, you want more time, and then you factor in we haven't had much practice time. I mean, today was the first chance we had at an intense practice since November, where when I say it is intense, we could push the guys hard because we don't have a game tomorrow. So they have tomorrow as a recovery day. We haven't had a practice like that since November. So when you factor in three goalies, yeah, it's a bit more of a challenge. They're getting shots, but it's with the goalie coach and with specific shooters, just because we haven't had a whole lot of practice. So yeah, it's a challenge. There's lots of challenges, obviously, and lots of grinds, and that's just one of them.
Specifically, Eric, we've talked about in the past how he's equipped to handle things, and last year, even when he went a week or two without playing, he still played well. But how have you, he hasn't played in 10 games. How have you seen him kind of handle that?
I think, again, it's not ideal for him, obviously. Him and he being a competitor, wants more, as anybody would. I'm certain of that. But you're asking how he's handled it. I think he's handled it as well as you can.
What's it like for you to try to get through the schedule and not have that practice time when you know that there are things with the group that needs attention and needs work on that you just don't have the time for?
That's a challenge. I mean, historically, practices have really helped us find our game, get back to our identity, refocus, recalibrate, whatever you want to say. And it's just one of those things you go through with the way the schedules are laid out. Some months you don't have much, and now having ability to push and practice today, and even a bit tomorrow is great. Next week again. So we haven't had 2 days in between games much. Again, since November, and from what I looked at, so that's a big difference and a big challenge. So it's great to have it, and it's a necessity for us.
How do you break down what things to attend to most? And there are things that are going well with the group, but there are some things that do need work on. But how do you address what to stress first?
Great question. Because when lots of things look not good, it usually points to one thing: work harder, compete harder. And that resolves a lot of your issues. So sometimes you sit and you say, we need to work on A, B, C, D. As soon as you get to anything more than that, you probably didn't work. Not probably, you didn't work hard enough. You didn't compete hard enough, because that resolves and fixes a lot of things. You know, when you're winning races, winning battles, willing to shoot because you're willing to get rebounds, your systems all of a sudden look great, as anybody's does in this league. When they don't look so great, that edge, that competitive edge, is going to the other group, and then you look bad in lots of different categories. So, the foundation of everything is work and compete. And you know, our style, our game is more pace, more skating. Obviously, with younger legs and younger players, we need that pace. And again, it ties in with the work and compete.
We know Jack's drive, and he's fresh, and he's excited to get back out there. Is any part of you surprised, though, that he's been able to play so well this early? I mean, you usually think it's going to take a little bit of time at least.
It usually does take a little bit of time, but I think that's evident, you know, obviously evident of his work ethic and off-ice work, or rehab work. But what I've said all along, this is an extremely talented guy that is a key guy for us. And you see him upon entry, how effective he is, you know, how good he is. That's evidence of how skilled he is.
I'm not sure if you could speak to this, Don, but is Tage an option for Saturday?
He's an option for Saturday. I would suspect he's an option for Saturday.